Hello, my name's Sam Walker and I'm an organic arable and cattle farmer in East Devon. What we're looking at here is obviously the soil. This is a field that we're going to be planting some spring barley into next week. Barley's a really good crop and we cut it with a combine harvester in August, and it goes for making beer if it's good enough. The whole thing about making sure it's good enough is making sure our soil's healthy and we can get the barley growing and get a good crop from it. So we dig a few holes and we're looking for some key things in our soil. A great man once said that all life on earth depends on the top 6 inches of soil and the fact that it rains. So we've got to make sure our soil's healthy. One of the first things I find when I dig a hole, I'm looking for these chaps. Here's Timmy the worm. Half of all the soil in the world has been through an earthworm in the last year, I believe. What I'm looking for is the way it's structured. Does it easily fall apart? Are there lots of roots coming out through the lumps of soil as I dig them out? Are there any hard layers as I push my spade in that I can't easily push the spade through? And are there lots of worms? There's more living things in that much soil than there are humans on the entire planet, if the soil's healthy. So what's actually in this soil? What we got here is we've got, looks like mud, doesn't it? Dirt. It's actually a very, very important mixture of ingredients. About half of this is mineral, and it could be sand, it could be clay, it could be silt like you find in the bottom of rivers. This here is mainly sand with a little bit of clay that makes it a bit clayey, like modelling clay or putty. But only about half of that is actual mineral, sand or silt or clay. About 5% of it should be organic matter. Dead plants, dead roots, food for Timmy the earthworm wherever he's got to. Our soil here is also home to fungi, to invertebrates and to billions of bacteria and microorganisms. So that's about half of it, minerals and organic matter. The other half should be air and water, and you can tell if you got that wrong by smelling it. If you smell it, it should smell nice and fresh and earthy. If it smells really bad and really sort of gone off and rotten, means it's got no air, or it means it's been completely flooded with water. And most important of all is the little gaps in the soil, the pores, like the pores in your skin, that hold the air and the water. If you squash the hell out of this soil, you're driving out all the spaces. As you can see, this bit of soil suddenly got much smaller, and you're driving out all the spaces for the air and for the water. So what we're looking for is something that's nice and easy to put a spade in, and nice and breaks apart easily when you tap it on the ground. You can see some of the old roots there, and you can see there's Jemima, Timmy's friend, small topsoil earthworm, working her way through some of this breaking down organic matter. You've probably seen on the news, we're all very worried about greenhouse gases and carbon in the atmosphere. What I really, really want here is carbon in my soil. And plants can take the carbon from the atmosphere and lock it up in the soil. This soil should be about 5% organic matter. So it's mainly minerals, air, water, and about 5% organic matter. If I can increase that organic matter by just 1/2%, so I'm 5.5% organic matter, if we did that on all the farm soils in this country, we'd take all the carbon that's a problem in the atmosphere and lock it up in the soil, just like that. So the tractor's just driven over this soil. He's broken down these lumps at the top that I don't want to bake out like concrete or bricks, and pressed them down into the soil. He's only worked about that deep. Okay, so below there, he hasn't moved the soil at all. Has he squashed the vital air and water spaces we want in our soil? The answer is no, not at all. The soil's still crumbly. That tractor weighs about 5.5 tons, but because we've got it over 8 big squashy tyres, it's not putting a massive amount of pressure on the ground. It's not squashing out that vital space that we need our air, our water, our roots to get in, our worms to move through. and this field's going to be left like this to let any weeds grow. I can't kill the weeds with chemicals, so we try and kill them before we put the seeds in. And we're going to leave it like this, see if any weeds grow. If they do, we'll go over it again with a little graze harrow on the back of the tractor there, a little yellow thing you just saw, and kill the weeds. And then we're going to put sunflowers in here. So what we're doing is we're making a nice seed bed here, keeping the soil nice and open, keeping lots of cracks and spaces for the sunflower roots to get down, plenty of room for our friendly worms to move through, plenty of organic matter mixed in there to feed the worms and the soil bacteria. We're going to let the field green up. If there are any weed seeds around here, they can grow. We'll go over them again with this harrow behind the tractor, and then we'll plant sunflowers in here, probably late April, early May, and hopefully we'll have a crop to harvest at the end of September.